Do 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 do. La dee dee dum dee da dee da da da. Hoka hey. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can't get enough of you, baby. I kind of was made for loving you, huh, Michael?
Yep, I ordered you from a company. They made you in a factory.
Okay, hey, BOOZHOO, Gakina Awia. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is Emily Aubrey. This is Michael Lyons. Ikadon, BOOZHOO, Michael Lyons. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. BOOZHOO, and welcome to the show.
This is a live stream podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Which camera should I look at? Should I look at that one? Or should I look at this one?
Let's look at this one until some of the BOOZHOO crew gets here.
All right. Today is, what day is it?
It is Wednesday.
And in Ojibwe, we call Wednesday halfway, because we're halfway through the week. And, how do you say Wednesday in Ojibwe?
We say abatuse.
Oh, right. Abatuse. Abatus, abatus, abatuse. BOOZHOO, Wally Bear. How you doing, Nietzsche? BOOZHOO. Wally Bear's here. Michael, did you see that?
Yeah, how you doing, Wally Bear?
What? Wally Bear says, Minno Gigajabe. Minno Gigajabe. Good morning. Well, good morning right back at you, brother. How was work? Wally Bear's got to work that late night shift.
Yeah, he works overnights.
Anyway, what was I talking about?
Wednesday?
Oh, right, Wednesday. Abatuse. But that's not the Ojibwe word, is it?
No, actually, our Ojibwe word today is the Ojibwe word for, if I can find it, butter. Dudu shabu bimade.
Dudu shabu bimade. That's fun to say. Dudu shabu bimade. You call it butter. We call it milk grease. Dudu shabu bimade. And this has been your really important, what's it called?
Ojibwe word of the day.
Ojibwe word of the day. Have some coffee.
I think I will.
You know, long-time viewers of the show are going to remember that yesterday's Ojibwe word of the day was black medicine water. Makare mashkiki wabu. And today it's butter or milk grease. You know, when you directly translate Ojibwe, sometimes they make stuff sound gross. It's like, oh, would you like a cup of coffee? No, thank you. I think I'd rather have some black medicine. Yeah, that's what it is. But make it water. Water, which is black medicine. No, just have some coffee.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or how about would you like a little melted butter on your muffin? It's like, no, thanks. I'll have some milk grease. Milk grease, gross. But that's today's Ojibwe word, dudu shabu. Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Where's my coffee?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you a cup.
What's the matter with you? I forgot. So, what's going on, party people? I see Francis Bawishchek. I call her Franny. BOOZHOO, Franny.
How you doing, Franny? Good morning, BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, and family.
NANABOOZHOO and family. That's me.
Yep. Well, that's everybody on our podcast.
All right. So yesterday we were getting in kind of deep.
Yeah, when we left off yesterday, I was talking about my grandparents and where I learned the word Mukade Mushkiki Wabu.
Yeah, can you tell us that again?
Well, my grandfather was a Leech Lake. I didn't even want to call him a Leech Lake Ojibwe. My grandfather was an Ojibwe guy, and he was born in Bena, Minnesota, which is in the middle of the Leech Lake Reservation. And my grandmother was a Metawakiton Lower Sioux, Metawakiton, Dakota. She was a Sioux. She was half Sioux. But she also lived on the Leech Lake Reservation or whatever. And when I was a little boy, we had moved off the reservation to a little town called LaPorte, Minnesota. It was just a few miles off the border. And we lived on a lake called Gabicona.
Gabicona? You mean Cabacona?
Yeah, Cabacona Lake. And
What does Cabacona mean?
well, Gabecona means the extent of the trail, the end of the line or whatever. Cabacona. The whole extent of it. Gabe means the whole thing of it, the completion, and then Kona means trail.
Gabicona or Cabacona. Yeah, go on though.
So my grandparents bought a resort, and my family and I lived in the basement of my grandparents' house, a little apartment down there, and my bedroom was right underneath the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so I had the top bunk, and so it was just a couple of inches from my head to the floor of the kitchen. So when my grandpa would get up, I could hear him walking up there. And it would wake me up, and so I'd get down and go up and see him. Well, when I tell this story, it sounds like that's what I did every day.
Yeah.
And I do remember doing it at least once. But it's not like I had a special morning routine connection with my grandfather. But the one morning I remember getting up, he made me some coffee.
Yeah, I love that. He made a 6-year-old coffee. Because that's what you do, right? Oh, here comes a child. A growing child. Should I feed him breakfast? Or should I just pour him a second cup of coffee and go back to my cigarette and my paper?
Yeah, that's what he did. But so I'm sitting there, he's smoking a cigarette and reading the paper, and we're looking out the lake. And he looks over at me and he goes, "You know how you say that in Indian, don't you?" And I'm 6.
In Indian?
Yeah. He didn't even say, "You know how you say that in Ojibwe?" He goes, "You know how you say that in Indian, don't you?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Oh, that's Mukade Mushkiki Wabu." And I was fascinated because it showed me a little glimpse into my grandfather's Indian side. He knew these Ojibwe words that, nobody else, Ojibwe's knew. And I wanted to learn it, and I asked him to repeat it, and he repeated it once, but then he wasn't that interested in teaching Ojibwe or anything. But when I grew up, and I would tell the story about my grandfather, and I talked a lot about my grandparents and boarding school and stuff like that, I gave the sort of impression that I had this really close relationship with my grandparents, and that's why I learned so much about the language and the culture and the history of Ojibwe people. But in recent months, I've had to admit that, that was the first Ojibwe word I ever learned when I was 6, or the first Ojibwe word my grandfather ever taught me, and I'll never forget it. Because it was also the last Ojibwe word my grandfather had ever taught me. Really? Yeah, that was it. My grandfather taught me nothing. Not only did he not teach me anything about the language, he wouldn't talk about the history, about his childhood. I didn't learn anything about World War II from him, which he was in. I never went fishing. He never taught me how to fish. No kidding. Yeah, we lived right on a lake. I never went ricing. He was a ricer, trapper. I I didn't do any of that. He just never taught me a thing. But I loved him and I respected him and I looked up to him. And when I started teaching Ojibwe, which I learned from other people, I would end up telling stories about my grandfather and especially my grandmother, um, because I did see a lot of them. And I mean, we spent a lot of time together, but that was just it. We spent a lot of time together talking about nothing. Um, just like whatever. And, I always knew it, but kind of coming to that realization was sort of a bummer. you know, yeah, it's depressing. Right. Like I wish my history with my family was more like how I imply that it was. Um, but so yeah, no, I didn't learn any Ojibwe. I wasn't encouraged in any way to learn about our language and our culture and past and stuff. Um, Both my grandparents were boarding school survivors. Survivors? Yeah. Meaning my grandmother graduated and praised her experience as in boarding schools. She agreed with everything that happened there. She had no criticism of her experience and would deny the experiences of other people who went to boarding school and said that it was abusive and stuff. Yeah. And my grandfather ran away from boarding school a number of times, and I wrote a song about it and told his story and sort of educated this generation about the boarding school experience. But I also kind of perpetuated this sort of victim mentality and hero story of my grandfather and that generation of the Native Americans and how we persevered through so much oppression. And the reality was, and I always knew this, oh, Native Rhythm's here. Well, hey, BOOZHOO, Native Rhythm. Good mornings, I see ya. Native Rhythm says, my pa liked boarding school also. Yeah, because there's two types of people. People who think about their childhood and see the bad parts of it or whatever, their wounds and their abuse and stuff, and just paint a victim narrative. And then a lot of us, just like our ancestors at boarding school, could go through the same experience, but it's your childhood and see it, the whole of it. These kids, they went to a school with their cousins and brothers and sisters and native kids from other places. The schools were not bad. They weren't like the movies where it wasn't like a Pink Floyd The Wall music video set in the Old West. Yeah. But if you ever see a boarding school movie, it's just the meanest, most racist white people brutalizing children. But the reality was, our own ancestors brutalized their children with the neglect. And, the boarding school kids' parents were shit parents. There, I said it. I'm not going to apologize. I've come full circle with honor the elders and respect our ancestors. Because the reality was, those boarding school kids were sent off to boarding school not because the government came in and victimized their parents and forced them to give up their kids. No, the parents willingly gave up their children to the boarding school system. They were the first generation to not take any responsibility in raising or educating their children. They gave it over to the government. And they've continued to do that, just like everybody with the Department of Education and public school. But, you know, the reason why I never knew my culture and my language or the history, why a lot of us don't, and the reason why we have such broken homes and broken families, and nobody has any values, our traditional values, nobody lives them, is because our ancestors failed us so badly. They didn't even try. They rolled over and they just played the victim to daddy government, daddy white man. And they're doing it to this day. You know, they stole our land. They stole our culture. How does somebody steal your culture? Unless you just don't try to protect, whatever. I got no respect for the ancestors anymore. They did not prepare for, 7 generations ahead. And who cares? I'm not either. But I think it's time we quit, all this, whatever.
Are you crabby this morning?
Yeah, I think so.
But Native Rhythm's here.
Yeah, well, Native Rhythm cheers me up. He attended the last 3 years, 31 to 34. Oh, no kidding. At Tomaha Indian School in Wisconsin. Yeah, my grandparents went to Flandreau Indian School in Flandreau, South Dakota. My grandfather 4 times ran away before he finally got away. But as a little guy, when he was 13, he and his brother Ray, I wonder if I have that song, snuck out at night and went down to the train and jumped aboard the train that was heading north to get back to Bena, Minnesota, which is an 8-hour drive by car today. So by train, it's probably twice as long. Or it takes twice as long to get there, 16 hours. Would have been an overnight thing. And 3 times in a row, I'm not sure how much time was between the 3 attempts. And again, all the details are sketchy because he told me the story once and never really talked about it that much. I retold the story more times than I can count. But jumped aboard a freight train and met what he called hobos, homeless people who rode the rails in those days from town to town and stuff, and they would help kids or whatever. And got sent back to the school by the cops and stuff, and was apparently publicly, beaten at the school. But what was my point with all that? So he dropped out and ran away when he was a 7th grader. Oh, here's the song is what I wanted to play a little bit of this song that I've written. And I'm going to do this, let's get rid of this. I'm going to do this at the conference next month.
Oh yeah, we're going to be at the Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College Conference. We haven't been looking at this camera at all.
Yeah, we should look at it more.
On the, when is it?
It's like the 1st or 2nd week in June. And we're going to be talking about boarding schools in Ojibwe and how to teach language and culture to kids or something. But I always play this one song I wrote called Home. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Until later. If I can find it.
Because this is what people want to watch. That's just kind of scrolling through.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is home. Oh, I can't play this.
Why not?
Because it's going to be way too loud with the microphone.
Can we shut off the mic?
Yeah, we can. I was born in 1913 in the storm of 1913. But then at boarding school, I was nobody's fool. Down at Flandreau, I grew madder every day. That's why I had to run away. 'Cause this is no way to live. And I wanna go home. My brother Ray, we planned our getaway. If we can make it to them tracks, we won't be coming back. We're gonna hop a train. I thought we got away, but then the cops came and took us back to a leather strap. But I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go.
Here's some pictures. Oh, here we go. There he is. Michael's grandpa and Michael.
Yep, there he is. That's me and my grandpa. Aubrey Lyons and Michael Aubrey Lyons.
Aubrey? You mean like my last name?
Yep.
Emily Aubrey.
So I was like, gee, was that what I looked like when I learned how to say black medicine water? I think so. Anyway, he has a bit of a Hitler mustache. I don't think he was affiliated at all. And I love the prescription sunglasses.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I was cuter than I can explain.
All right. Well, this is all kind of depressing.
I know. I'm not sure why that suddenly bummed me out. Can you give us some Auntie Emily's wisdom on what to do when you're feeling blue?
What to do when you're feeling blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably can.
I kind of feel like if I got out of the shot and let you be yourself, that might be better. We're still kind of working out the logistics of the show. Oh, wait, we got a call on line 2.
Oh, really? I wonder who that is.
Yeah, hold on.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Welcome to BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO with Emily Aubrey and Michael Lyons. You're on the air.
What's that? Hey there, it's me. It's Joe Biden.
Well, hey, Joe Biden. Michael, it's the President of the United States.
Hi, Joe. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yes, hey, Emily, I can smell your hair.
No, you can't. That's really creepy. Don't say that. What do you want, Joe?
Oh, I learned that, what you call it, the Ojibwe, the phrase of the day, Jack. No fooling. I do. I mean, I remember, my daddy, my pappy, we called him pappy sometimes, and he was eaten by cannibals, but, and I was like, yeah, listen, Jack, but,
I think he fell asleep.
Yeah, he sure sounds like he did.
Should I let him sleep?
Maybe we should.
Hey, Joe!
huh, what's that, who is that?
It's Emily. Did you want to learn the Ojibwe phrase of the day?
Oh, yeah, okay, hey, now, let me ask you something. You talk that Indian, what's it called, gibberish?
Ojibwe?
Yeah. How do you say thank you and I love you in Ojibwe? No, I want to learn. That's not a joke. I'm not being a Paco. Biden's not being an extremist.
Sure. I can teach you that. Michael, can you pull up thank you and I love you?
Yeah, sure. Let me just click it here.
To say thank you in Ojibwe, Joe?
You can call me Mr. President.
I mean, Mr. President? We say me gwetch. Me gwetch. Thank you.
Me Gwatch. Thank you. Wow, that's the damnedest thing. I love you.
Okay.
How you say that in Indian?
In Ojibwe, we say gizaka'een. Gizaka'een. I love you.
I can't remember that.
Gizaka'een.
Gizagain.
Yeah, perfect. Gizaka'een.
I love you. I love to smell your hair. Hey, you gonna vote for Barack in November?
Am I going to vote for Barack Obama? No, you're running for president.
Oh, that's right. I forget sometimes. I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna run. And you know what I don't like?
What?
I don't like that. You buy a bag of M&Ms, and they charge you the same, but now there's 2 M&Ms less. It's a conspiracy. And if I'm elected president, I'm gonna get to the bottom of that. Don't you hate that?
No, I don't care.
It's the economy, but Donald Trump, he's heading for some stormy weathers. That's what he said. He's stormy weathers.
Yeah, okay. Listen, we gotta go. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
No. Listen. I want to say goodbye, but I want to say it in Indian.
In Ojibwe, we don't say goodbye. We say, I will see you again. So you'd say, Gigawabamin, Minawa.
Gigawabamin Minawa.
Yeah, that's right. Gigawabamin, You don't want, Joe.
Hey, I just gonna go and it's... I pooped my pants!
Oh, would you get him off the line?
Yeah, we'll see you, Joe.
Oh, it's running down. Where's the nurse? I gotta get the nurse. I need someone to change me.
Oh, poor Joe Biden. He just pooped himself.
Yeah, that was really gross.
I can't believe you're going to vote for him.
I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden.
You're not a Joe Biden supporter?
No.
But you are, part of the squad.
The squad?
Yeah, with Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and the fat one.
Yeah, I don't know her name. Talise Shalib?
Whatever. You're part of that, aren't you?
No. I'm not very political.
You're not very political?
Well, I mean, I have values that sometimes align and usually don't align with certain politics. I don't, I'll vote against certain policies. I don't even vote anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care. It's not my country, it's theirs. They can do what they want.
Yeah. Wally Bear says, Sleepy Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe Biden. Make gummy bears cheaper, says Wally Bear.
Yeah, that's what he's really concerned about. Oh, it's so sad.
It's really sad. You can't even read the teleprompter.
I know. And, that they'll release certain stories about him that people, they don't say that they're lies. They go blank and they try not to think about it. Everybody talks about what a scumbag Trump is. And of course he is. And yeah, I don't think it's right to sleep with prostitutes. And then whatever he's in trouble for. But nobody cares that he slept with a prostitute. They're all like, hey, he, told her not to talk about it or something. And everyone knows that Donald Trump or Joe Biden swims in the nude in front of the CIA. That his daughter, in her journal that was published in a book, and that his daughter who has also had her share of drug problems and been to rehab and all this stuff, said that he took naked showers with her. I don't even care about all the other stuff that he's done. That alone should disqualify him from anything. I'm not interested in what he has to say. He showers nude with family members.
Yeah, that's really, 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 really sick.
Yeah, that is really evil. So, whatever, guys. Yeah, but, climate change.
Yeah! No, you gotta vote for Joe Biden. Don't you care about climate change? Oh, the world is gonna change. We gotta put a stop to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for, what's her name? That little obnoxious Norwegian girl?
Oh, yeah, the first obnoxious Swedish girl to ever exist. What's her name? How dare you?
How dare you! You come to us looking for hope. You steal our hopes and our dreams with your littering and your using plastic bottles and driving around in your cars and driving planes. Don't you care about climate change?
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg. She's so annoying. She was cute for about 6 months.
Yeah, she came out once with a video. She was at some public gathering where they were playing music. And she was just having a bunch of fun. And I saw the little girl. She kind of reminded me of my nieces in Norway. And I went, Greta Thunberg. She's just a little Scandinavian girl. Everyone just leave her alone. And then she opens her mouth. And it's all over. Yeah.
You come to us looking for hope? No, I never said that.
Wally Bear, only pawn in game of life. Yep, me too.
I'm just a pawn in the game of life. Just a little old pawn. You know?
Do you feel like you're playing in a game sometimes?
Like somebody's messing with my life?
Yeah, kind of.
I do, just to the extent of like psychological warfare or spiritual warfare.
What do you mean?
Like I think I am a pawn in the game of life, and so much that, you know how like the media deceives you, and how science and mainstream education indoctrinates you to believe a certain way, and how Hollywood has an agenda to try to change people's opinions and change how people behave. And they keep on pushing and trying to like herd us like we're sheep. Oh, get a vaccination. Oh, you know, believe in the moon landing. Oh, believe in this or that. They'll mock you if you don't go along with whatever their agenda is. And they'll call you like the conspiracy theorist. So yeah, I feel like a pawn in a game of good and evil, where evil is trying to lie to everybody and make everyone conform. That is one thing I'm kind of coming back to these days.
What do you mean?
This idea of conformity. When I was a little girl in school, a teenager, my big like theme of rebellion, you know, in the 80s was always about don't conform, be original. Get your ears pierced, you know. Wear, you know, bright clothes and bandanas or whatever. Ripped up clothes, you know, be a punk. Be new wave. But, you know, kind of be original. Be, you know, you didn't want to be a conformist and wear, like, name trendy clothes. Oh, everybody's wearing that. No. What's everybody into? Well, I'm going to be into something else. You know, we were way into David Bowie before Let's Dance came out.
Yeah.
And then everybody else like, oh yeah. You know. But anyway. Okay, we're starting to write our backstory.
Yeah, we are kind of starting to write a backstory. Have we always known each other?
I think it would be easier for us to always know each other than to try to come up with some cockamamie. Oh, I remember that day when I was walking through the town and I saw you.
Yeah.
We've just always been together.
But we haven't. I've known you for about 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I couldn't really afford you. I put you on a credit card.
Yeah, I'm a mail order bride.
And you're not even a bride. We haven't been married.
I'm a mail order girlfriend. We're way off track. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Wally Bear, only pawn in game of life.
So anyway, what I was saying is, wanting to be a nonconformist. I feel like the game that we're all in is that there's a force. Use the force, Luke. He's kind of got it wrong. But there are influences in the world. There is force. There's good and evil. And evil is trying to influence the world. And it's trying to change our minds about stuff. It's trying to confuse us and belittle us and make us think we're meaningless and make us hate each other and isolate us and all this stuff. Maybe in coming weeks we can kind of take this apart.
That might be interesting. But we need to go and do something else.
Yeah, I suppose. All right. Hey everybody, Wally Bear, Francis, Native Rhythm, anybody else watching? Thank you so much for showing up this morning. It really means a lot to us. So much so we're not going to look in the eye. Let's look over here. Thank you so much for watching the show. My name is Emily Aubrey. This is Michael Lyons. And we'll be back tomorrow. I will see you again. Giga Min. Mina.
Are you going to tell them about thumbs up and subscribing?
No, I hate that.
You hate that?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell a person to go, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. Who's going to share this with their friends? Hey, that's a good way to lose friends. Hey, buddy, you want to see a video I watched this morning of this chick talking about Ojibwe and whatever? No, they're not going to do that. And everyone knows how YouTube works. If they like it, they're going to give a thumbs up. If they don't like it, they're going to thumbs down. Or however they feel, most of them aren't going to do anything because they have a life. Miigwech! Thank you. Gisagain, I love you. And I will see you again. Giga Min. Wait, are you going to get the thing?
Yeah, I'm trying.
La 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 la. As soon as Mike can get the text. There it is. Giga Min. Minawa. How? Do 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 and live stream on na 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 na.